And now it's going to be Roberto Vitali that will talk to you about his adventure. Roberto Vitali is from Ferrera. He's 53. He has a wife and a daughter. He is registered with the Publicists Journalist of Emilia-Romagna's region. A motor accident in January 1976 made him paraplegic. He undertook activities and projects on accessibility, accessible tourism, tourism and hospitality for all. He is technical referent for the FISH, Italian Federation for Overcoming Handicaps, for the tourism sector. Actually, president and founder of V4A. He is member and spokesperson of Commission for the Promotion of Accessible Tourism to Ministry of Tourism since May 2010. Mr. Vitali?
Thank you. First of all, I understand my bio is very long. And I can understand one right my here, 53 years old also.
I know you're a timekeeper, so
yes.
Started. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. So I try to explain what means Village for All, the Village for All idea. Village for All is a project that was born in the 2008, and we reflect about what Marshall McLuhan, philosopher of communication, says in the early of 60 year. The word become very small because the communication grew in the 16 year. So we had another kind of communication. We had a transistor, radio, TV. Actually, I think the idea of village, global village, is actual. And for that, when we start to create the project Village for All, we chose this kind of name. First of all, Village for All is a brand about hospitality for all. It's not a brand who highlight the some kind of accessibility, not the respect to the law about the accessibility. In the last 2 days, I say many times to talk about the respect to the ISO, to the law about the accessibility. We're a level of hospitality. We are involved in tourism, and tourism is not only the measure. Is first of all is hospitality, and we don't assign the level of accessibility. The target for our work is the need for the person, need for a family with a little child, for elderly people, the needs for the person with disability, every kind of disability, or allergy food, allergy for pollution. So, and for that we have an approach here, we have 3 pillars. First of all, the first pillar is the information, the objective data. We don't assign level, but we explain to the tourist who is, how large is the door, how percentage have the slope. And the second pillar is the training, and the third pillar is the universal design. We don't talk about universal design because I am not an architect. We talk about a transparent accessibility because I want an accessibility who is completely transparent for the customer. I think is one of the most important key the universal design for creating an ambient very agreeable for every kind of people. So I don't talk about how large is the market and how is an operation win-win to work in accessible tourism, but we try to create an opportunity for a hotel or a chain of hotel, for the restaurant, for the museum, for every kind of structure we want to give our brand, because they can distinguish on the market. This is the idea of our brand. And for having that, we had to create a software, special, is a software who can organize all the information you can collect, all the data you can collect during the audit in a hotel or restaurant structure or museum. We collect the data more or less about 35 different kinds of building, and we create a model for collecting data. We don't assign the level, but we create different kind of output for through the output the person can understand through the description, a short word, or the icon system, or the map. We draw the map for the room, for the toilet, and this way you can understand immediately if it's accessible for you. We say we take a measure for your holiday with this system. We promote only one design, the universal design, or how I say, the transparent accessibility, because I think it's the way without the hospitality smell. When I enter in a room for disabled or accessible, usual, the room more or less is so similar to other room, but when I go in a bathroom, I have a special toilet, a special ramp, all is special. So I don't feel this, many people don't like this. So another pillar is the know-how, how I can host this client. When I go to the reception, I talk with the receptionist many times. He answers to my wife, is near me. Or when I pay the coffee or something, the rest arrives to my wife. I am lucky if I have my wife with me. Sometimes the rest arrive other person, not with me, because frequently the person can understand. If you are on wheelchair, you can go around alone. Every time if you are on wheelchair, you have a person help you. And so for that, we need to have a personal, a staff very trained in every level of organization, from the top manager until the last, maybe is the housekeeper, but the housekeeping is very strategic, because if the towel is in the rack 2 meter high, for me it's impossible to arrive. And all this is know-how for the staff. We training the staff, we create the operating manual for different kind of responsibility in the chain. And we are very proud this year. We won the Ulysses Awards. We are finalists at the Ulysses Awards in Montreal from UNWTO. We won different prizes in Europe and in Italy, because our vision is worldwide. Through the information, we can inform every kind of customer from every country. It's not necessary the person who come in Italy know the law about the architectural barrier for understand if the hotel or the restaurant is accessible for his need. We give the measure for understand if it is. So through Village for All, we offer a new business, a new competence for enterprise, and we try to create a bridge for a new guest. So to highlight, for finish my presentation, to save the date, the next 19 and 20 of November in San Marino, we have the first conference on accessible tourism in Europe, organized by the UNWTO and the San Marino Republic. I am involved in this organization. I hope to see all you in San Marino. I think it's a good occasion for coming in Italy and in San Marino for visit our country. And another occasion is next year, the exhibition about the tourism and universal hospitality is the 6th edition of Gitando.all. Next year, change the name in Move, and is an exhibition very interesting. We have a collaboration with the European Commission, with the UNWTO, and it's possible to meet all the important experience about the accessible tourism who come in Italy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bonjour, mon nom est Jean-Pierre. Je voudrais savoir aux différents présentateurs combien de temps il faut pour faire un audit et rentrer l'information dans l'ordinateur. Et la deuxième question, tous les combien de temps on fait une visite pour mettre à jour les données?
Alors, pour l'association Accès, au niveau de la régularité, donc c'est une évaluation qui est attribuée pour les bâtiments pour 3 ans. Et comme elle est à la demande du propriétaire ou du gestionnaire, s'il ne renouvelle pas sa demande, la labellisation disparaît du site Internet. Donc, s'il veut continuer à y figurer, il y a une nouvelle visite qui est refaite et c'est obligatoire. On repasse sur le terrain au minimum tous les 3 ans. C'est notre période de lancement. On sait bien qu'à terme, il faudrait pouvoir passer plus régulièrement encore. Concernant les événements, là, c'est une labellisation unique, seulement pour l'événement. Et là, le processus, je n'ai pas eu l'occasion d'en parler, mais est un peu différent, puisque là, on impose un accompagnement des organisateurs. Parce qu'un événement, c'est très compliqué à rendre accessible. Et pour le moment, on est tellement dans l'inconnu que les organisateurs d'événements ont besoin d'aide pour savoir comment on labellise, comment on met en place des adaptations pour les personnes handicapées dans un festival de rock au plein milieu d'une prairie. Ça leur paraît totalement impossible. Et donc on les suit pendant 3 à 4 mois à l'avance et on donne une information préalable. On annonce sur le site internet que les organisateurs ont l'intention d'atteindre ce niveau, un niveau X d'accessibilité. Et le jour de l'ouverture, on vérifie ce niveau d'accessibilité et il nous est arrivé, encore cette saison-ci, de ce qu'on dit dégrader le label, de dire non, vous n'avez pas atteint le niveau souhaité, et donc on redonne l'information sur le site internet. Et donc là, c'est une labellisation pour une édition de l'événement. Quant à la durée de l'audit, bien sûr, il dépend de la taille de l'infrastructure. On va dire que pour des bâtiments, en général, bâtiments classiques, hôtels, restaurants, etc., en une demi-journée, il n'y a aucun problème pour le faire. Maintenant, on sait bien qu'on doit gagner du temps sur l'encodage et la transcription des résultats, puisque les audits sont payants pour les propriétaires. Donc, plus on gagne du temps, plus c'est attractif parce que moins c'est cher. Et donc, nous sommes en train de finaliser une informatisation du relevé pour qu'il y ait une proposition des résultats qui se fasse de façon informatique avant d'aller en comité d'attribution. Et de toute façon, à terme, d'ici quelques mois, les résultats les cotations de l'audit sur le terrain seront également en ligne à destination des personnes qui veulent en savoir un peu plus, puisque si nous on dit que c'est vert et qu'elles veulent vérifier, elles pourront aller voir que c'est vert, et mais que la largeur est de, mettons, 88 cm exactement. Donc le temps dépend un peu des situations, mais on sait que c'est crucial pour que l'audit soit le moins coûteux possible pour le propriétaire qui le demande. C'est une démarche volontaire dans notre cas.
Madame Fillon, aviez-vous quelque chose à...
En fait, pour nous, pour les lieux que nous avons évalués, tous les établissements de santé, en fait les cliniques ou les lieux de loisirs et de sport évidemment, on a fait les évaluations avec leur collaboration et ils ont été invités à consulter nos répertoires pour valider en fait l'information qui avait été mise sur le site web. Donc ça, c'était une façon pour nous de valider les informations. Ils ont été invités à communiquer avec nous pour tout changement dans leur service ou des changements d'accessibilité du point de vue architectural. De l'autre point de vue, nous misons à la pérennité, la mise à jour des répertoires par l'interaction du web. Donc, les utilisateurs qui créent le profil peuvent nous faire part de leurs commentaires, leurs observations. Et c'est la manière dont on assure le suivi.
Mr. Manning, I'm not sure how good your French is. Did you hear what the question was?
I think so. But what
The first question was, how long does it take you to do an audit? And the second one was, how often do you verify if it's still as accessible or not accessible as it was?
Then I did get it right. I'm
Okay.
lucky. That has been, well, first, for any actual certification or verification process, whether it's ISO or whether it's green whatever, that has been the biggest challenge, and that is why so many of them have disappeared. And the reason for that is that the continuing costs to have professional certification and verification, and also the legal liabilities associated with providing that, and therefore your vouching that something is as it says it is, have started. That is why so many of the certification procedures, whether it's quality or environmental soundness or accessibility, have had great difficulties, and many of them has gone out of business, certainly as commercial enterprises. And that is simply because it is an expensive thing to do, and while many of the large hotel chains have been happy to do that because they see the direct benefits, and Scandic being by far the most advanced anywhere, but the reason we've gone the route we have is to avoid many of those issues, because the bed and breakfasts and the small restaurants and the curio shops and the people running roadside attractions and the people in smaller countries and less developed countries can't do that. At the same time, it in no way undermines the need to continue having the Scandics doing the excellent work, the people doing the advancing the standards and developing them where they can. But we would really like to outreach to everyone and to make sure that when you are looking online or through an agent, that you can find out basically whether it's safe for you, and what the conditions are likely to be there, and that can be whether it's a safari in Botswana or a boat ride in the Indonesian islands or wherever. And we feel that something has to be there that provides the fundamentals. And obviously, we'd be delighted if everybody reached the German standard or put in legislation like they have in the United States to really encourage people to build accessible facilities and renovate. But these little guys aren't going to do that. But they just might be accessible for you. And that's really why we've been looking at our approach as a complement to all of the superb work that everybody else is doing.
Okay. And Mr. Vitali, do you have something on Either
Yes.
how long it
So-
takes to audit and/or
Every
how
year.
often you go back to make sure it's good.
Every year we come back to the structure for collecting the new data for control if the improvement we suggest is applied every year, because the structure pay for our brand and we go for that to control, and the data is completely free. You can find in our internet site villageforall.net. It's completely free for end user, for tourists, but it's completely free for tour operator, for association, for everyone want to use, and we give all the information and all the document to the structure who can use in the internet site and in the brochure and the presentation they use. So, thank you.
Thank you.